good show today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the PWF Empire SmackDown review for May 9th, 2017. I am your host this time. Usually you see me on the Raw review with DJ Cass, but today it is the gentleman Micah making his triumphant return to a SmackDown show, which was damn good, with my co-host today.
Yours truly, the loudmouth, Lucas, Micah. What are you doing on this show, man? Why
Well,
why have you hijacked this show? I don't
well,
even know you. I shouldn't know you.
Well, my production room, it seems like different. Like usually I got other stuff. Like I don't even know where this came from.
What, you mean
And
that little fake title hanging in the background?
fake. I think this is PWF Empire property here in our PWF
Really?
Empire rooms that we have these reviews in. Uh, Jay just showed up. I was in my own little niche writing up some reviews, and Jay's like, "Hey, we need you." I got dragged in. And here I am.
Well,
I
in all seriousness, I gotta thank you for stepping up, showing up. It's a pleasure to have you on. I've actually said a lot of good things about you, so I look forward to this show, man.
and I look forward to having it with you, man. Gentleman's handshake,
Yes, virtual.
virtual
Well,
gentleman's
there we
handshake.
go.
There we
That
go.
works.
There we go.
Yep.
So let's review this Raw. Ooh, my bad.
Up,
I even
up,
got
up.
them.
Come on, man. You're tripping. You're
I'm
tripping.
tripping. I'm tripping. Let's review this SmackDown Live. And it opens up with Randy Orton. Randy Orton, of all people, our WWE champion, being at the very start of Raw, basically talking about how he doesn't give a crap about gender. And then, does gender show up? It's a smorgasbord of people that just start
Yeah,
popping up.
yeah. Jinder Mahal came in and did his typical rant about how he's being overshadowed and
Mm.
overlooked, and he's not going to let Orton stop him. And then Kevin Owens interrupted, saying he's the face of America and nobody cares about India and nobody cares about Randy Orton
Yes,
and the House of
yes.
Horrors. That was good.
And then, if I'm correct, AJ Styles showed up after that and talked about his match with what is it with Kevin Owens for the U.S. title at Backlash in 12 days. Trust me, you'll hear that multiple times from me because we basically had a mixtape dropped on us today. I'm gonna call it Paranoia, but that's for later in the show. Um, AJ Styles does his thing, and then Baron Corbin shows up, and right when Baron Corbin shows up, Sami Zayn attacks. They have a brawl around the ring, and we go to commercial break, and we'll announce that later on in the show, it'll be a six-man tag match with Jinder Mahal, Kevin Owens, and Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton. Uh, Everyone looked good to me except Randy because he's boring.
Well, let's just be honest here. This whole segment and this whole main event that just unfolded on SmackDown, to me, it was a hot ass mess because, no, I'm serious because it's exactly what you said. Everyone that needed to look good looked good except for the WWE champion. And that's a fucking shame. Like, that shouldn't be the case at all. Dude, you're the title holder. You're the top guy on SmackDown. Your name is Randy Orton, and you can't even accomplish getting over and being the focal point of a segment, let alone a freaking match. It's a shame you have AJ Styles, who is going to be featured in a mid-card match against Kevin Owens for the United States title, that being more important, being more valued by the fans as far as fan reaction and cheers is concerned, because you heard the crowd tonight. They loved AJ Styles.
Yeah.
AJ Styles was booked like he is the face that runs the place, like he is the actual face of SmackDown. And for Randy Orton to just be in the background, like, yeah, well, I have the title. Yeah, I'm Randy Orton, RKO. I'm sorry. Take the title off of this guy immediately. Por favor.
For me, and I've been watching SmackDown. I'm not a part of the SmackDown show, so I'm not able to put my 2 cents in every so often. But I got plenty to say, and there's much more later in the show. Since we're using this as the springboard to talk about Randy, Randy's been boring since probably I want to say like 2, maybe even 3 years ago. Last time I found him interesting was I swear to God, I gotta say the Daniel Bryan stuff. Like that's about it, and that's me trying really hard. And when I say interesting, I'm talking like he's getting like a six, as in like he barely passed to get into the. That's okay, but that's the past we're talking about now. Randy's not when he's motivated and when he's ready to go, he's the best. He as they say on this program, and they can't lie. If you build a superstar from the ground up, it will look like Randall Orton, and he just is just as we say about Dean Ambrose resting on his laurels. It's very clear Randy Orton is doing the same exact thing.
And
He's go ahead.
no, and the funny thing is, you said it perfectly right now. When Randy Orton is motivated, he's at his best. But you want to know something? That's the problem because right now he's not motivated and he's facing a newcomer that they're trying to get over, that they're trying to build and establish in Jinder Mahal. And what's happening? That's what's happening. Randy Orton is not motivated. Therefore, you're not going to get production out of him in terms of building a new star. That's the problem with Randy Orton when he's not motivated, when he's this dry, vanilla, babyface character on TV that's not compelling enough, that doesn't intrigue you to a point where you actually want to like him and hate the guy he's facing or do anything relevant to make sure that the guy he's facing is getting exposure. When you're not accomplishing that, that's going to hurt not just him, but it hurts everybody involved doing anything with him. And that's Jinder Mahal right now.
Gender, and we will. I want to get to Gender at the end of the show actually, because he does something
Okay.
that I did not see. But
What?
Gender's actually
Pin
looking
Randy Orton?
really, really good. Gender is taking a baseline level of who the F are you? Heath Slater, you're not going to do anything for me. And he is making me every time when he's given a chance to try and do something, he's putting everything that he's got. It's not making him like, I don't believe he's going to win. I don't even believe there's and in him as a contender or champion. But by God, he is really putting in everything he can to try and do it. And Randy's not helping him along the road. And
Mhm.
once again, we can get on this later. Let's hop on over to the actual first match of the show, which is Natalya versus Becky Lynch, with the very terribly named welcoming crew, the
The welcoming committee.
welcoming committee. Ugh. Ugh. It's like they're stepward wives or whatever. They're just all in this community. Oh, we're the welcoming community. Welcome to our SmackDown Live community. We got Natalia over here. She hangs out with her husband TJ Perkins. We got what is it? Tamina. We don't know where she's been. She's here. She's not here. She's just here every so often. We don't know. And then we have Carmella. She's new to the block, but we don't really care about her. And then Becky Lynch is actually introduced by Naomi, which she does both people who introduced the competitors tonight didn't put them over in as well as themselves, which is good. But the weird thing is the title's not a thing for them anymore. It's Mean Girls versus not Mean Girls, and that's weird for me. What you got?
Again, this is another hot mess. And I know that there's people listening to this show right now, probably producing the show, who think this is the greatest thing since sliced bread because Charlotte is making everything quality. But here's the thing. It's exactly what you said. This is like high school drama bullshit that I don't want to see. And it's also overshadowing the champion, to be quite honest with you.
I can understand that completely. And for how can I put this? Uh, when I look at the people who are involved in this, and the title's not involved in it, it's strange to me because when Charlotte first came over, and I've been obviously watching you and listening to everything that you've been stating, and when you first talked about Charlotte coming over, that she's going to eclipse all of the women, and that is
Don't
that
say it's not true.
it is and it isn't. with this
How?
mysterious.
Wait.
Hold
How
on, hold
can?
on. I'm going to support my claim. I'm going to support my claim.
Okay.
When I look up at the heavens and I hear this voice booming at me, I don't know. It sounds like it's Jay. It might sound like it's the production crew of SmackDown. I don't know. I don't know. Either way, when I look at all of this and I look at Charlotte, she's doing what they did when they brought her over. She is elevating the women up. Because before this, I honestly, Lucas, you cannot sorry, you can disagree. It's your own opinion and all, but you can't not say that compared to the SmackDown women, compared to the Raw women, the SmackDown women were pointless to me. The SmackDown women, there was Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, kind of, and Naomi, kind of. Alexa Bliss was the focal point. Charlotte is doing what she was brought over there to do. While she is the focal point, while she is the main de facto thing, she's also elevating the other girls to get there as well. Naomi has looked better in this whole thing with her and Charlotte in weeks than her thing with feel the glow. What is the glow? Is it a glow stick? Do I have to go to the Walmart up the street and get a glow stick and I'm in the glow club? I don't know. Then we have Becky Lynch who is the best babyface going on SmackDown and all of WWE added honestly. If you listen to her what is it? Her Talking Smack interview from 2 weeks ago, she puts a valid point that WWE rewards people who cheat, and Becky Lynch will not be a woman who cheats. That's all you got to do. And then you have Natalia. No one gives a crap about Natalia. Carmella.
Ah,
God.
wait. Go ahead. You're proving my
Carmella.
point.
Carmella, who, honest to God, I feel uncomfortable when I watch her wrestle because she screams so quickly all the time. And I'm like, stop. You're messing up my ears. And then Tamina hasn't done anything. She just came back, and she has not wrestled a match at all. They don't even talk about it either, and that's the most annoying point. But with Charlotte here, it gives all of them a different demeanor, a different character, rather than I have James Ellsworth and I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. They are pinpointing all of their hate at a person, and that is elevating them to want to do something. Now all they got to do is just move that to SmackDown, to the SmackDown Women's Title, and have them do something with that, which they are doing by having Charlotte and Naomi fight for it. They haven't even finished their match, and I am looking so forward for that rematch. And when that happens, and when Naomi beats Charlotte, bam, you got a star right there.
But it's not guaranteed that Naomi will beat Charlotte.
You don't feel the glow then.
No, I'm just pointing out something that could possibly happen. Like I just don't see Naomi beating Charlotte at all. That's number one. And again, I'm not saying Charlotte is going to win either, but I don't think it's that much of a given. I hope you understand that.
Yes.
But number two, I get what you're saying in terms of storyline purposes, what this could be doing to elevate the other women, because it's like, oh, they all have to rise to the occasion now, and they're out to prove a point so that they can get a spot against Charlotte or whoever the champion is. I understand that. Yes, I understand that. But there's also a flaw in that, in the sense that if you do this too much, you're going to see some of these women really be exposed, and therefore some of them just quite honestly not living up to par as far as being part of any women's title match on SmackDown. And I think that's where the issue lies, because you just said it yourself. You know, you pointed out the weaknesses in Carmella, in Natalia, and who's the other girl? Yes, Tamina. So that right there, you saying that, you realize that, okay, they're getting this opportunity right now, but who's to say 1 week they could just go completely downwards and just lose anything they have going for them right now due to their own flaws and their own weaknesses. And I think that's where the problem lies. Also, with what you saw tonight on SmackDown, I think the best beneficiary coming out of this is Becky Lynch, to be quite honest with you. I mean, we all saw what happened with Becky Lynch tonight. She looked phenomenal, but
Yep.
here's the thing. We've already seen that situation happen on Raw a few years ago with Becky Lynch and with Charlotte. So I don't think it's a positive thing so much because we've already been there, done that. I would be impressed, however, if there was somebody else, and I know you're going to say Naomi, but again, I don't think Naomi is at that level yet. I would be impressed, however, if there was somebody else in that position to face Charlotte that's looking as credible and as strong as Becky Lynch is right now.
So, first off, in case anyone was curious, Natalya won by rolling up Becky Lynch after Charlotte came out. Naomi and Charlotte went off against Tamina and Carmella on the side.
Yes.
In the end, Charlotte ended up grabbing Naomi and pulling her to the side. That distracted Becky Lynch long enough for Natalya to roll her up and get the 1-2-3. That also set up that a 3-on-3 women's match at Backlash for just honor. But for what you were saying, and I did point out the flaws because as anything, you have to point out the negatives and the positives in both aspects.
Right.
But you're already looking at it in a negative context. You're already looking down. It's I talked with this with Tony in the first place, another one of our co-hosts, that in wrestling there are fans, and even in life there are people who are glass half empty, glass half full. Trust me, we as WWE fans have been burned so many. I can take off this. I got burns all over my body from how many times WWE has messed up with my brain with, man, this is perfectly good booking. Let's fuck that up every freaking time. And you're already looking at the women that they're going to fail. Newsflash, Lucas, they can't go any lower than where they were before. Their only stride is upward. Sorry, they could if Natalya gets back that farting thing that she had in about 2009, if anyone remembers that. Yeah. But the positioning that they're putting them in is already the eye of success. They're giving them these eye mindset and eyesight that you can get better. So let's see you guys get there. Not just because of Charlotte, because now there are stakes involved. Because that women's title is now kind of credible. Originally, the only two people that kept fighting for it was Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch forever. I don't ever remember anybody fighting for it until
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
but at least
Go
there
ahead.
were other stories on the side, though. I felt like
True.
I felt like when Alexa was there, even though you were getting those matches, everyone had their fair share. They were all separately equal.
Yes,
and
you're right.
that's
We had three separate women have a match at the I think it was the first Backlash.
right.
Was it? Yeah.
Everyone was equal, whereas now it just feels like. And I know you're going to say this is positive, but you can also see this as negative. It just feels like what's happening right now is all in the surface of what's going on with Charlotte. Like, because Charlotte is there, this is happening. And that's what I don't like. Like, I just don't like seeing it from an angle where Charlotte is right here and everyone else is working to get to that level of Charlotte. I don't like that because to me, it's like, why does that have to happen? You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh,
If
I
it's
can
a
tell you why.
division, yeah.
I
Go
can
ahead.
tell you why. No one has the mystique that Charlotte has. No one. None of them. That's their booking. That's their fault. None of those women have any sort of prestige eyesight. When I look at Becky Lynch or Naomi or Natalya, even because I acknowledge that Natalya is a great wrestler. They're standing right here in this direction that I'm looking. They're right there, and I'm like, y'all look cool, but then there's Charlotte. Charlotte looks cool, but she has so many other things. What do you bring to the table? Oh, Naomi, you got the title and you're doing great and you have something that you're doing. I mean, you're right here. You're right here in front of me. Charlotte's right there, but you're getting close. You're way closer than anybody else. Becky Lynch, I mean, you're showing some straight fire, as you say, and you're actually doing it. You're not just saying it, you're doing it. And Natalya, you are actually not just saying the lines of your father, sorry, your uncle who you kind of talk about like he's your dad, which is so freaking weird. You never say anything that your father talks about, but that's besides the point. And then we have you are also bringing these other two women along with you in the ride. I look at this and the first pay per view for SmackDown as the opening chapter in the book of the next of this year for the women. I think later down the line, everyone's gonna have these other things that are going on. Right now, this is the intro, and right now we're gonna get the further chapters of each other women, how they progress, how they grow, where they're going, and what they're doing. I think that's
I
gonna
hope
be
I hope so, man. I'm not. Listen, I want you to know I'm not totally disagreeing with you.
right.
I understand what you're saying. I just don't have faith in WWE. It's
Trust
not
me.
so much your opinion. Trust me, I
Right, right,
believe
right, right,
your
right.
opinion. What was that?
I was agreeing with you. I was saying right. You're right.
Yeah.
I do not take it personally.
Yeah, it's not more so about your opinion. It's just I don't have the faith in WWE going forward with that. I think going forward, this is going to be all about Charlotte, but we'll
But
see.
and you say that you don't have faith in WWE. Oh boy, hats off. Sorry, I gotta make that sign. Hats off, pissed off. Eric Rowan beat Luke Harper tonight. That was his next match. It was
My
Eric
man,
Rowan versus Luke. No, 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 no,
my
no, no, no,
man.
no, 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 no. I'm hopping on the board with Jay right now, and trust me, I'm a man who literally talked so much prestige about the goat, the great one, the Ayatollah of Gotorola, Eric Rowan, that his own wife retweeted my own tweet and said, "You talk about thank you for speaking about my man in such good reward." It was me and Evan. Go back. Sorry, Funky Evan Medina, going way back. Luke Harper. If Eric Rowan is the GOAT, Luke Harper is the Ram for ridiculously awesome monster. Yeah, I just made that up off the top of my head, but that is what Luke Harper is, and they wasted him by putting over Eric Rowan. At the end of the match, he's holding his face like this. You know why? Because he's like, God damn it, I fucking lost again to Eric Rowan. There's nowhere that I can see Eric Rowan. See, and I praise the ground to Eric Rowan because when he does, there's flowers that grow. You know what happens when Luke Harper walks over the ground? Fucking cities grow. fucking communities grow. Luke Harper has so much potential. I already got an idea for what his new character could be. It's a bounty hunter. It works perfectly. But and they're wasting it with trying to one renew his feud with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan with their whole Wyatt family thing, and two, just keeping them out of the picture of so many other possibilities. If they put them in a tag team and they start dominating and eventually finally get a tag title, which they deserve, I would fucking love it. But right now, I don't want to see them anywhere near each other.
Fair enough. I think you're spot on. I'm tired of this Eric Rowan and Luke Harper and why does everybody in the Wyatts always have to be involved with something together? Like
Every time.
yeah, I've gotten sick of that. Like, let Luke Harper be his own man. He's proven that he can succeed on his own with his own personality and his own character, and people like him. Let him
Yes.
shine on his own.
Yes. One day. Oh man, my finger is just pointing upward at this thing right here. This thing right here. Oh man, I didn't mean to do that. One day I
You mean the
want Luke
sky,
Harper
the ceiling? Is that
to
what you're pointing at?
obtain this thing right here. This title, this right here.
The
And wait,
door?
almost
I,
there.
I, I
There we
see a
go. There
door.
we go.
Oh,
That
okay,
actually hurt
okay.
my arm. But but he I Luke Harper has a plethora of potential. He is the backwoods behemoth, as a certain commentator who's not with us anymore used to say. But I just don't want to see any more Wyatt stuff because now if you put anybody with the Wyatt moniker now, it really tarnishes them so much with all of the bull crap that's happened with the Wyatt family and the people who's tied to it.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
And actually, I skipped over one of the best parts, and Breezango and their fashion files. You don't remember that? They had a commercial break in between the Becky Lynch and Natalia match. They had a fashion file segment with Breezango. I can't even do justice. I can't even copy how awesome they are. No way do I think they're going to win the titles, but they are entertaining. They are showing me everything that this character's got, and I am loving every morsel of it.
I'm glad that they're getting the chance again to be able to do
Yes.
something because honestly, I never thought Fandango was bad.
No.
Back in 2013, when it seemed like they were going to give him something to run with, I was all for it. I loved the character. I thought it was one of the greatest things going on in wrestling at that time. And it's a shame how they put a stop to it. But now it seems like they're possibly bringing that stuff back, and I can't wait. Hopefully, this is the beginning of big things to come for them because these guys are fun.
Yes.
Tyler Breeze, I will admit, I still have trouble getting behind him, but Fandango is amazing. Like, I love Fandango.
I put Tyler Breeze at a pinnacle that I really shouldn't put him at because I remember watching him in all the NXT days, and his height for me was when he fought Jushin Thunder Liger on an NXT Takeover show, and he put over an entire feud with a man who doesn't speak much English to an audience that doesn't even know who that man is, almost to a degree, and made his match with him look amazing. If ever anyone has a time, like I think it's a 15-minute match at best. Um, Definitely look up Tyler Breeze versus Jushin Thunder Liger. He does exactly what his character is. He shows how vague and sorry, not vague, how vain he is, as well as show how great he is in the ring. And I'm glad that WWE is finally saying, you know what? Let's freaking let these fashion police do their thing. Show them what you got. Show them what you got.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You are not about to outdo me as far as a Vince McMahon impression is concerned. You don't get to do that, damn it. You're fired.
Whoa, what are you talking about? Hey Breezy, don't you shouldn't you get in there? Oh man, I think that Mr. Vincent McMahon, you don't need to fire us because we're the fashion police. Yeah, yeah, we're the fashion police. God, I fucking love Fandango. By the way, we both got to buy freaking what the hell was the Southpaw Regional Wrestling shirts. I'm waiting for those babies to go on sale because I'm gonna buy one immediately when it does.
Okay.
So we're skipping. We're Eric Rowan beat Luke Harper, and Dolph Ziggler. Actually, I'm gonna let you take this because you've been putting out some really good words and your really good opinion to Shinsuke and this Dolph Ziggler thing. So you go ahead and give the audience of what happened, what transpired, in your opinion, real quick.
All right. Well, Dolph Ziggler came out and he cuts a promo on Shinsuke Nakamura only to be interrupted by the great charismatic Nakamura, and he got a good pop from the London crowd. But of course, that's to be expected when you're in a smarky crowd, I guess. And Nakamura, he issues a challenge to Ziggler for the show tonight. And then Ziggler turned it down, being the heel and the jackass that he is. And then he took a cheap shot at Nakamura and left, having him in the ring to close the segment. And that's basically how that segment went.
But you forgot that they set up their match. Ziggler did accept to fight him at Backlash.
Oh, of course. Well, that's what the traditional heel always does. Oh, no, no,
Yes.
no, no, no. This is not going to happen tonight. It's going to happen at the pay-per-view. I mean, I have good and bad things to say about this feud. Like, don't get me wrong. I love the start of it, what we saw from the beginning. But now it's gotten to a point where I think Dolph Ziggler has been booked to do the exact same thing every single week on SmackDown. It's the same thing. He comes out, talks a big game, and then he just walks away from Nakamura. Like, I want to see this guy actually do something else other than just talk shit and not back it up. Don't you get the same impression?
Every segment that led up to that before this with Dolph Ziggler and Shinsuke Nakamura, I detested. I did not enjoy it. Shinsuke, awesome. Ziggler, get the fuck
Yeah,
away from me.
yeah. It's like Nakamura isn't the problem. He's
No.
not the problem at all. The problem is Dolph Ziggler because I don't know what it is, but WWE is trying to convince to us the fact that he's a serious threat and opponent for Nakamura. And I think that's where the issue lies because the fact that Dolph Ziggler is not a threat to Nakamura. I think that's why we can't stand what's happening right now. Maybe if this was Kevin Owens talking this much crap, I would
True.
buy it.
That would be
But
awesome.
yeah, but a guy like Dolph Ziggler, it's like, first of all, who the hell are you to talk to Nakamura? What have you done? Oh, wait. Yeah, sure. You cashed in to become a champion, but that happened in what feels like in wrestling years a decade ago now. That happened
And
in
then he immediately
2013.
got injured.
Right. So it's like you don't have much on your plate to be talking in the first place, buddy. And that I think that's where the problem is. I mean, if you're going to go ahead and do this storyline with Dolph Ziggler, at least have him back it up and look like a threat. But the fact that he's just talking and talking and talking, that's what he's done all his career is talk. And then he's not backing it up. That doesn't sit well with me. At least book him in a position to be a threat with Nakamura.
So when I said that I didn't like everything that led up to this feud, them setting up for their match at Backlash, it's all of the hokey crap that they've done, all the nicknames that they've dropped, all the references that they've went through. It's just disgusting how freaking weird and stupid it is. And Dolph Ziggler's given the script to do it, and then you're just like, go away.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
then Ziggler is tonight he sold it better than any of the other segments because he stated to the crowd, "Oh, you guys like to pop for these people who just show up out of nowhere. A guy, you're popping for a dude who hasn't even showed up and done a match for any of you. You guys are popping for a dude who hasn't even really given a full regular sentence to say anything about himself. You guys are going crazy for the hot new toy like always, which is standard for all of these feuds that always happen, but he was doing it in such conviction that it was a bit of him really projecting outward that I really like this time. And I look back at Dolph Ziggler last year when SmackDown went on Tuesday nights, and he was the number one contender for Dean Ambrose's title. And I believed in Dolph Ziggler then. Jay can note it, and this is before I became a member. And my crazy ass wrote, quote, I believe with the booking correctly that they're going with Dolph Ziggler, even all the way up to this Miz feud that happened in TLC, that Dolph Ziggler had even the possibility of winning at Royal Rumble. Yeah, I know. I
Wow.
know it was a crazy claim. Mind you, look who the hell we got that won the Royal Rumble. It could have been fucking anybody. It really could have. And the way that Dolph Ziggler had his story projected as this loser who's always at the edge, right there at the edge, and always can just show how really good he is, but never make the break for the WWE title against The Miz 3 separate times to the point where he had to put his own career on the line. And we believed it. We, as the
Mhm.
audience, believed that he was leaving. He sold that hit the the later parts of 2016. Ziggler looked the best he has since 2000, I believe, 10, maybe I think 11 when he was feuding with John Cena and had the Money in the Bank and all that. Um,
Well,
and
that was 13,
that
but
was
I
that
get
was
your
that
point.
13.
Yes.
Okay, when he was doing that, that was when, and I will always attest, 2013 Ziggler, great, and then it was over, and then they always like come back going, ooh, sorry, I gotta get my WWE. Ooh, did you know Ziggler's also might be important? They do it all the time. They just slide right in and say like, "Hey, Ziggler's here. What up?
and
Don't forget him."
yeah, and you know what I think almost has to happen right now with this storyline?
What do you
This honestly might not be what people are thinking or suggesting, but this is what's going to need to happen, at least in my eyes.
think?
Dolph Ziggler needs to beat Nakamura in the first match.
Mm-hmm.
And and here's why though. But here's why, hear me
Mm-hmm.
out.
Mm-hmm.
I know I don't have to explain it to you because you're gonna get it. But to the audience listening, Dolph Ziggler needs to beat Nakamura to make this story more compelling because Dolph Ziggler seems to be the guy that has a chip on his shoulder right now. Nakamura, it seems like everybody loves him. You know, he's the popular guy.
Yep.
He would not be affected by losing in this first match because if anything, that's just going to grow more sympathy, more, and that's going to grow for more of a reason for the fans to get behind Nakamura going forward, making him more relevant, making him more popular than he already is. But this also benefits Dolph Ziggler because he will then actually look like a threat, and then the feud can get interesting. So I'm sorry, but if I'm WWE, the way I'm booking this next pay-per-view to go down, Dolph Ziggler is beating Nakamura. And he's not just beating him, by cheating or anything like that. No, he has to have straight up beat him clean 1, 2, 3 and brag and tell him to his face the following Tuesday that, hey, motherfucker, I just beat you now. Like, what now? Talk that big game now and then. And then I think that's when they can execute with a great story going forward.
I could see that. I can agree to a point, because you get these two things. If Shinsuke beats Ziggler,
the story's done.
Yeah, it's done,
Yeah.
and technically Shinsuke didn't do anything. We all know Shinsuke can beat Ziggler.
Right.
We all know it. But
Right.
if Ziggler does beat Shinsuke,
the story gets compelling.
Everything up. And as we all are with WWE fans, and all of us that are here on PWF Empire, we're longtime fans. We've mostly seen everything from the moon and back. So when you give me something that I've never seen, I'm gonna be like, well, let me take a little bit more intrigue. I can see what you go with, Lucas, and you kind of sold me there. I see why you almost won the PWF Empire Last Mark Standing Championship, which you might be contending again for.
I am ready to take that title.
We go to commercial break and we come back after that whole segment, and we have a backstage segment with Zayn, Orton, and Styles. I love them because Zayn comes off at like a regular human being, a regular like excited guy who's just like, I'm with AJ Styles, who I've known forever, and I'm with Randy Orton, who I never thought I would be in a ring with or do anything, and I'm actually kind of important. Let's do this. I'm important, guys. Me. I liked it. I like that he's a real person. And do you have anything to say about it, or that's about it?
I think you said it well there.
Yeah. We skip on over to Breezango versus the Ascension, and they beat the Ascension because the Ascension never wins. But what we actually have is I don't know if you guys listen to rap or anybody, but you basically got some rap in 12 days. Some stuff's about to happen. In 12 days, they go start throwing blows. And man, the Usos come out and they give a very entertaining, very off the cuff, clear promo, and I enjoyed it a lot personally.
It was good. And it's also something different that we've never seen from the Usos before. Yeah, so I definitely liked it. But the problem is who they're doing it to.
Yes. Breezango does not look like they're going to be... as much as they are entertaining, I don't see them winning. Even if they do win, like we said with Dolph Ziggler and Shinsuke Nakamura, if they beat him, if Ziggler beats Nakamura, that does something. If Breezango beats GT Uso, because they look like Grand Theft Auto characters to me, I think I would just be like, what the fuck just happened? It just doesn't look real. I'll even look at Jinder Mahal beating fucking Randy Orton more than I can see Breezango beating them, because their gimmick is just so over the top ridiculous.
Right.
But if you haven't seen the Usos promo on them, go check it out. It's pretty damn entertaining. I've watched it at least 4 times before we got on the air.
Would you admit that that's kind of a throwback to The Rock's character? I'm not trying to say like, oh, exactly The Rock, but similarities. I would say there were some similarities in that promo. Would you say that?
I could see it. I could see it in the Rock. The Rock, and I usually make a game when I see him on TV, or especially when I see him live, that The Rock says same words over and over again. Finally, I'm back in whatever. Finally, I'm back home. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, talking about some pie,
and strudel,
talking about whatever city he's in, and hashtag something. Let's make that going all the time. But he also always talks in third person. The Usos have the benefit that technically them talking to third person is talking to his identical twin that looks just like him, and it came off very well.
Exactly. Yep.
That's how I see how you were going with it.
Yep.
And then we have the main event match set up earlier of Kevin Owens, Baron Corbin, and...
Wait, can I interrupt you here for a second?
Go right on ahead.
We got to talk about Rusev
Oh yeah.
coming to SmackDown next week because I think this is huge what's happening with him.
Yes. Rusev is actually doing something much more interesting than I expected from him. Actually, you brought it up. Go ahead, take the reins, man.
Well, Rusev is apparently demanding a title shot against Randy Orton, and he doesn't like the fact that Randy Orton hasn't given him an answer. Also, Rusev showed up on, well, not on SmackDown, but on our TV screen with a completely different new look. And man, I like this. I like what they're doing with Rusev, this transformation that's about to unfold with him. I can't wait. I'm glad that they're getting rid of this whole
I'm
whatever
a
the hell he was doing before this stuff. But
Rusev's main character for the past, I think, 3 years since we've seen him on TV is always, I crush you, I am Bulgarian, but I also represent Russia, and my Russian wife, who's actually from Tampa, you know
right,
what? That's what I am. I'm Russian, sorry, I'm Bulgarian, don't like me.
yeah,
Rawr. And he's coming off now as a main event star,
mm-hmm.
highly, because he's coming out and saying, give me that. Give me
Yeah,
this.
yeah. He's not praising Russia. He's not
Nope.
talking about Lana. He's not doing any of that. He's just being a man, demanding that he wants the top thing on SmackDown, and that is that title, that replica fake title. Well, not the fake title, but that same version of the title, except in a much more realistic atmosphere on SmackDown.
Yes.
And so that I really like because I think we can take Rusev seriously when he's not in this whole accent and this gimmick. I don't
Yeah.
like characters that have too much gimmick. I like realistic characters. And for once, I think Rusev is being realistic. And I like
Yes.
that.
And he has all like legitimacy to technically go for the main title.
Yep.
He's already won the U.S. title, I think, 3 times now. And whenever Rusev does win the title, he gives it that prestige of that. This is the huge title. You got to go for it. Every time, whenever he has it, whenever I see anyone go for it, I feel like it's more Rusev always makes the title the big ayatollah of what it is about him.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of that, the title is just attached to him. He makes the title more so about him. It's a 1 and 2
Yeah.
combo that
But
works very well.
but there's also something fishy going on with SmackDown that they've been doing this for the last month now. As good as this is, why is it that WWE is booking these title scenarios involving Randy Orton for ahead of time? Like they did it at the last pay-per-view Payback with Randy Orton, going up against Bray Wyatt, but then in the middle of that feud, they still have something with him and Jinder Mahal going on, and now they're doing it again where Randy Orton enters a freaking new feud with Jinder Mahal, and that hasn't even unfolded completely yet, and now we're already in the talks of Randy Orton versus Rusev. I don't understand what the logic behind this is and why they're doing it. Maybe they're finally realizing Randy Orton isn't interesting, and so they got to give him several guys to go up against at
I could
once.
see that.
Yeah, maybe that's what. I mean, what's the freaking explanation?
That's the only explanation I can actually see of,
Yeah,
because Randy can't go from starting a feud and beginning a feud. People have to already be going and vying for him,
yeah,
and
hmm
that's why I actually do look at gender as something that could possibly freaking happen, and same even goes for Rusev down the line, whatever happens, and I enjoy it. I enjoy Rusev a lot
yeah.
and what he's doing, and we're looking forward to his arrival on SmackDown. That's
Rusev,
what's best.
right? Rusev would be the perfect guy to antagonize Randy Orton and put him in that position where he has to, as you said earlier, motivate himself.
Yep.
Because I guarantee you, Rusev is going to go in that ring and he's not going to try and look like a pussy in the same ring with Randy Orton. Like, if anything, he would destroy that guy. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I'm interested in this, but it could also go either way. Like, for all we know, this could set up for a Jinder Mahal versus Rusev feud, which then becomes even more interesting, I think.
Yes. Yes.
Imagine that.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
So we are now at the main event, as I said a little earlier, and it's those 3 competitors versus the face people that I talked about earlier versus the face people that I talked about earlier. I just don't feel like repeating their names over again. In the end, The heels win with Jinder Mahal pinning Randy Orton square center in the ring with his, as the announcers say it, Cobra Clutch Slam, which they need to give it a cool name like the Maharaja Drop or some crap. But um, it was a really good main event that showcased all the main feuds that are going on SmackDown, and that's what I liked a lot. I forgot honestly that Randy was there a bunch of the time. I'm not even gonna lie that I don't even think he gets in the match until the very end. And if he does before that, it's a blank void in my brain. But it was actually a lot more of Sami Zayn doing a lot more of the legwork for this match. And my boy Sami Zayn, probably my number one wrestler going on, he sells it like a champ. He starts bleeding from the nose. It gets everywhere on his face actually. But he still obviously goes through like a champ, unlike a certain Sin Cara, the original one. Oh, I messed up a finger. I gotta run away. Anywho, um, it was a very good main event, and as I said, everyone looked very good except Randy.
Yeah, well, for many reasons. Number one, he was overshadowed, but the most important reason, number two, being he got pinned by his challenger, Jinder Mahal, tonight on SmackDown. Oh my goodness. Now, can we please resume on this conversation that we
Yes.
left off from in the beginning of the show?
Yes, sir. Let's.
Let's open this sucker up.
Yeah.
What in the hell is going on? I mean, I think you said that you were liking something like that. You were liking what's going on with Jinder.
I look at Jinder, and this is how I look at most of everything with WWE. They made me care about Heath Slater. Period. Before that, I gave no craps about Heath Slater. Even in the Nexus, I did not. Even in the very first NXT Sci-Fi shows, I did not care about Heath Slater at all. I found him annoying, stupid, and just ridiculous. And then they gave him that character last year of I Got Kids, and I was like, he's still ridiculous, but he's freaking hilarious, and I want to see him win. I want to see him do something. And that's what WWE needs to do. If they can make me care about a guy like Heath Slater, a man who, if you look up online, his win-loss record is, I think, 13% is the chance of his winning. The man, before all of his victories last year, if you can make me care about a superstar or a wrestler, whatever you want to call him, like I did about Heath Slater, then I believe in you guys. And they are technically doing that with Jinder Mahal. Because once again, I didn't care about damn Jinder Mahal at all. I did not give his existence was, oh, Jinder's going to lose. And I was live at WrestleMania. And when I saw Jinder almost win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, I'm like, oh my God, are they going to give this to Jinder? And in hindsight, I honestly wish he did, because he would have had a whole bunch of legitimacy now. A whole bunch of legitimacy now. Instead of freaking Mojo Rawley, who, Evan is right, no one should be friends with Mojo Rawley. All those kids should go to see the doctor.
You said something interesting there, because now that I think about it, going back to WrestleMania, if the freaking plan and direction
was to have Jinder do this,
right,
he should have won the freaking Battle Royal.
Right. Like, yes. Now that you bring this up,
I think about it every time when you guys are on air and no one says it.
Yeah, that doesn't make any freaking sense. Why the hell they would do that? Like, oh my God.
But they are doing, as I said, I didn't care at all about Jinder. At WrestleMania, I was like, all right. And then it was like, all right, it's over. And then he wins the Memorial Battle Royal. Sorry. He wins number one contendership for the WWE title. And my immediate reaction is laughter. And I'm just like, oh my God, what are all the stupid possibilities that this could do? And Jinder, whenever that camera's on him, mic work, character work, presence about him, he shows it. He shows that, hey, I'm something. Don't laugh at me. Don't mock me. I can be something if they look at me. In the ring, he's all right. He's, as they say, he's stiff, but he's okay. But as a character person, I care about him way more than Baron Corbin, even way more than Randy Orton, way more than even, and I'm gonna feel really sad saying it, Sami Zayn.
Wow.
And that's saying something to me.
I would be in your shoes. I would be saying everything you're saying right now if the argument you made earlier with Jinder winning the battle
Battle
royal
Royal.
actually happened, because then I would take him seriously.
Yes.
I would be like, okay, I'd be down. I'd be part of that bandwagon. Like, okay, this guy has something to back himself up. But because they didn't do that, and because it came out of the blue, I'm
Yep.
not willing to be at that level yet to say Jinder Mahal is serious. Nope.
And that
WWE has to earn that from me in order for me to believe it. I'm sorry, but they're not going to have it easy. I'm not just going to, because they're
yeah.
giving that to me, I'm not just going to take it. Like, they have to make me fucking take that shit now.
Yep. Yep. And by all means, that's how you should really look at it.
Yeah.
Jinder needs to earn it. Jinder needs to put up and put up, not shut up. And he is putting up in my eyes. He is stepping up and doing what he's doing. Randy is not helping him. Everything that Jinder is doing is
Yeah.
himself.
And that's what I was going to argue earlier when you said that this kind of helped Jinder Mahal tonight. I look at it from the other aspect involving Randy Orton. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Jinder Mahal pinned Randy Orton tonight, but that's the problem. He didn't benefit from it. I know you think he did, but for me, he didn't. But it's not because of Jinder Mahal. It's because of Randy Orton. Randy Orton has nothing going for him right now because he's at that level, because he's at that position where his character is nothing of interest. There's nothing standing out about it. Because he's at that position, and not to mention he lost the last match at Payback, him losing and being pinned by Jinder Mahal tonight didn't seem like a big deal, because maybe if Randy Orton was more compelling, more outstanding, more unstoppable of a force to be reckoned with in the WWE, and Jinder Mahal pinned him tonight, it would be a big deal. But because he just flat out pins a bland, boring dude in the ring, I just don't think it accomplishes anything for him.
And I can see that. I'm looking through Randy through the rose-colored eyes of when he was the RKO monster. When he was just like, "Oh, you got a soda, RKO. Oh man, I gotta get that chair, RKO." When he RKO'd everyone for no freaking reason, and Jinder, as well as all of his prestige with his Money in the Bank championship, with his Royal Rumble, 2 Royal Rumble victories under his belt, all of his WWE title wins, all of his world title wins. And then I'm looking at all of that in my brain, in my eyes, and I'm looking that Jinder pinned him. And I remembering all of the other stuff when Randy never took a pin, when Randy never lost, when Randy would have just shrugged off Jinder like a bug. And now, as you said, Randy is that neutered product that we've been getting now. He's not a monster. He's not that prestige winner. He's not what John Cena. When John Cena's back on SmackDown all the time, when he's in the main picture, he's like, "I'm John Cena. Fuck you, go do about it." That's what Randy Orton should do.
Yeah, the thing is, this is Randy Orton in a nutshell. I'm Randy Orton. Because my name is Orton and I have the last name Orton, I'm just going to stand in this ring and hold the title
Yep.
because I have the last name Orton.
Yep.
That's all Randy Orton is right now, and that is a problem.
And that is the problem, and that's why I am on the train of Jinder, just finishing this, getting the belt, and moving on along. And Randy, go take a vacation. Got a baby. Go be with your baby. Go be with your baby mama. I don't know if you're married with her. Go be with your baby mama wife. Go marry your baby mama and hang out with your baby. Let Jinder do whatever the hell he's gonna do. Let's get some shake up. Yeah, I use shake up. let's get some something mixed up right now.
Time to shake things up around
Let's
here.
do it. Hey, Vince. Man, I don't know what you're talking about. I am the Maharaja. But that wraps up SmackDown. Well, you guys do a very interesting segment every time. I think it's your good and your booty.
Yeah, it's the spotlight and the booty of the
Okay.
show.
So for me, my spotlight for the show, honest to God, had to be um, probably the Usos, the tag team division. I was very interested in both tag team competitors. Breezango hasn't given me anything to really think that they are going to win, but they are entertaining me. And then the Usos are still being themselves. They're GTA Uso. They're dominating selves. No, these are our things, and you ain't coming after this. You got to beat us. You got to come after us. And Breezango's Like, yeah, while we are entertaining, we will also do that. Fashion police out. And if I have to go with booty, I'd have to probably go with just Randy Orton himself. All of Randy Orton.
Okay. My spotlight to do something different here, because I honestly feel this. AJ Styles and
Mm.
everything involving him tonight was, no pun intended, phenomenal, because AJ Styles literally did take the spotlight from Randy Orton tonight. So I just got to, shout
Yep.
out to my man there, because that was excellent. That was a spotlight for him.
That's a
As
tip.
far yeah, as far as booty is concerned, I got to agree with you. Randy Orton, you're on a pattern here. It's like
Yep.
every week you're not coming off of that booty. You're the booty every single week. I'm sorry, Randy. We got to do it again to you this week. You're the
Yep.
booty.
He's got to go see a doctor because he's got bootyitis like no one's business. But
Gotta check them cheeks.
yeah, I gotta check them cheeks. But from Lucas to myself, Micah, you can find me at Micah Kool-Aid. I'm on Raw shows, I'm on SmackDown shows, I'm on the podcast, I'm on whatever you guys got.
You're
I'm that
everywhere at
guy.
this point.
And we got my other co-host, Lucas. Lucas, put yourself over as we go out.
Well, I'm the loudmouth. I know that was pretty ironic for me to say it in so low tone, but I'm the loudmouth. There's not much more there for me to say other than the fact that I will be the last mark standing champion very, very freaking soon. I don't care what anybody or that guy that's making pretend he's holding it right now, because he's just borrowing it, and he's sitting in the background because he knows he doesn't want any of this again, because he's
Dang.
scared, and he's
Dang.
he's crapping his pants, but that's okay because I'm coming after him.
Dang. Made
That's
me
all I
take
gotta
off my
say.
mic. You're spitting hot fire right here. I can't even take it. But we got proclamation from our future champ, our loudmouth, our messiah, our Maharaja, Lucas.
Yes.
Maharaja means prince, by the way. So from Lucas and myself, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys listen to more show. Clickety clack that like button. Smash down that subscribe button. Hit us up with some comments later. And from myself, Lucas, we're out.
Peace.
Catchphrase.